Hey everybody, today on Northern Revolutions, I'm going to share with you the highlights of my January vinyl haul. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to Northern Revolutions. My name's Rob. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. I thought today I'd just do a quick video. I thought I would show you some of the records I picked up in the last month in January. It's not been a lot, but I think there's some interesting stuff in here. So without further ado, I'll show you what I've got. If you could, please give me a like, please give me a subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. I would greatly appreciate the support. So I made one trip to a record store. The town that I live in, not great in terms of record stores. But I made a trip recently on the recommendation of a friend of mine in the Ontario Record Collectors Group on Facebook. There's a fantastic record store in Hamilton, Ontario on Ottawa Street called Revolution Records. Fantastic. One of the best selections of new vinyl I've ever seen, and a really great assortment of used stuff as well. So check out Revolution Records if you're in Hamilton. Some of the things that I picked up there. The first was something I've been waiting to pick up since the fall when this came out. This is Oasis Knebworth 1996. This is a triple live album that came out back in the fall, and I've just been waiting to find it at a record store because I didn't feel like pre-ordering it. I was very excited about this record. I'm a big Oasis fan. This was a show from '96. It was a big festival in England. This, if I have my chronology right, was right around the release of Oasis Be Here Now album, which was their third album. Some amazing stuff on this live record. I mean, it's mostly tracks from Definitely Maybe and What's a Story, Morning Glory, but you've got stuff like Supersonic, Hello, Some Might Say, Roll With It, Slide Away, Morning Glory, Cigarettes and Alcohol, Cast No Shadow, Don't Look Back in Anger, Live Forever, Champagne Supernova. They do a great cover of the Beatles' Eye on the Walrus. There's a couple songs from Be Here Now, like My Big Mouth. It's a fantastic triple live record. There is only one other live Oasis album, and it's called Familiar to Millions. I'm never going to get it on vinyl. It's like $1,000. It's crazy. So I'm very happy that they put this out. This is kind of regarded as, Oasis as at the peak of their power. So I'm thrilled that this is finally out on vinyl. And so Oasis Knebworth 1996 was my first pickup of the year. Digging in the used bin, came across this, which is great. This is Red Rider. This is their album Breaking Curfew. This is from 1984. I don't know if people have heard of Red Rider. I think so. The lead singer of Red Rider is Tom Cochrane, who went off to have an incredibly successful solo career. And then they did a bunch of stuff as Tom Cochrane and Red Rider. And he's still touring with Red Rider to this day. But this was a pre-Tom Cochrane going solo effort. I don't think there's any great hits on here, but it's just a band that I love. It's great rock and roll. So Red Rider, Breaking Curfew. In that same vein of 80s rock, I love that I found this. This is Haywire. This is called Just Don't Stand There. Haywire, they're still together. They're still playing. Obviously, you can tell from the cover, they're in the same sort of ilk as Bon Jovi or Poison or whatever. They're an 80s hair band. Their big hit was Dance Desire, which is on here. Um, the reason that I bought this guy right here, Sean Kilbride, the drummer. I know Sean. Sean plays drums for one of my best friends. Who's a singer-songwriter in Toronto named Blake Preston. I'll link to his channel. And I bought this because I'm like, I got to get Sean to sign this. Why the hell not? So, haywire. Another record that I picked up at Revolution was something that I've wanted to get since it came out on Record Store Day. I just hadn't found it anyway. And it's Aerosmith's The Road Starts Here. I bought this because I love Aerosmith. This is a show that they did in Boston in 1971. Allegedly, it's their first show. So I was going to get it because I love Aerosmith, but I was a little skeptical. You know, what would the quality of this recording be? It's really good. It's a very interesting snapshot of Aerosmith at the beginning. It's how do I say this without sounding like a snob? They sound like a real band here. I love Aerosmith, but they're very. It almost has a manufactured feel to it. This, they felt like a real band. And there's a lot of, they have a very strong blues roots, and there's some nice jams on this record. I'm really glad that I got this. Might be one of my favorite Aerosmith records now that I mention it. So very glad that I found this Record Store Day release. The next one has a very exciting cover on it. Ready? Ooh. So what this is, I should have turned the label so you could see it. There you go. I've mentioned before, my second favorite band is a Canadian band called Blue Rodeo. This is a 12-inch single for a song called Girl in Green. Girl in Green was not a hit by any means. It is a very sort of prolonged jam song, and it's a little experimental. It's a good song. It came off of their record called Nowhere to Hear, which is this, which came out in 1995. Nowhere to Hear has never been issued on vinyl. I hope that it will be someday, but I doubt it. I've got a couple friends in the band, and we've had that conversation, and it's in the hands of their label, Warner Music, whether the 5 or 6 albums out of their back catalog will ever see issue on vinyl. The band would like them out, but it's not up to the band. I digress. I bought this because it's a 12-inch single from the period where there was no Blue Rodeo vinyl. So the album version is on here. And then there's a really shitty remix. It's called the Space Knowledge Remix. Absolute crap. But it's Blue Rodeo vinyl from 95 when there was no Blue Rodeo vinyl. So I had to get it. The next 3 releases, the theme, they're all Fleetwood Mac. I love Fleetwood Mac. Over the last couple of years, Fleetwood Mac has done something interesting. They have released on Record Store Day alternate versions of their albums. And those alternate versions are similar track listings to the released albums, sometimes not. And they're demos, they're early takes, they're live takes, they're songs that they were going to put on the album that didn't make the cut. So these, I didn't jump on them when they first came out. I think the first one came out on Record Store Day 5 years ago, maybe. I wasn't able to find it. So they've released Tusk, Mirage, Tango in the Night, the Fleetwood Mac self-titled album, Rumors, and then they just released Alternate Live. I already had alternate Tango in the Night. It's okay. So the first one that I was able to pick up of the alternate releases, and these things are not that easy to find. I think there's only like 15,000 copies worldwide, so they tend to be a little pricey, but I got it at a decent price, is the self-titled Fleetwood Mac album, the alternate Fleetwood Mac. And they're just early takes or alternate versions of the tracks that made the official release of the album. Uh, it's great. I love it. It's Fleetwood Mac, but it's a little different. It's kind of like sort of the album as a work in progress. So the alternate Fleetwood Mac. Carrying on with that, obviously I had to find the alternate Rumors. This is fantastic. I love Rumors to begin with. I talked about it in my vinyl journey video. This is one of the early albums that really shaped me as a music fan. This alternate Rumors is amazing. And I would highlight the demo for The Chain. Bears almost no resemblance to the finished product on the released record, but in and of itself is amazing. If you can get one alternate Fleetwood Mac record, get alternate Rumors. Awesome. I love it. I love it. And last but not least of the Fleetwood Mac releases, I think this just came out this year, I believe, on Record Store Day. It's Alternate Live. So they did the live album, which came out in, I think, 82. This is, I believe, from the same tour, but the track listing's completely different. They came out with the alternate, or they came out with the live deluxe edition last year. And while it's good, I've always thought that album, it was an interesting track selection. And there were a lot of songs that were missing off of that you'd want to see live. While they're on here, Secondhand News, The Chain, Gold Dust Woman, Tusk, You Make Loving Fun, Songbird, Blue Letter. I mean, it goes on and on. This was the stuff that I always thought, why wasn't that included on the original live album? Alternate Live. It's amazing. So... And the last record I wanted to share with you, so glad that I found that this was finally available on vinyl. I don't actually know when it was released, sometime in the last year or so. This is an album by a band called the Joel Plaskett Emergency. He's from Eastern Canada. Fantastic rock record. Originally came out in the late aughts, like 08, 09, something like that. This is called Truthfully, Truthfully. Wow, what a record. I mean, there's some amazing songs on here like Come On Teacher and Written All Over Me. Great stuff. It's a double EP or double LP, and what they did to fill up the fourth side, instead of leaving it blank and putting a stupid etching on it like a lot of artists do, they actually took an EP and put it on that side. So they put the Make a Little Noise EP on here. This is fantastic. Great late 2000s rock and roll. I'm so glad to finally have this on vinyl after listening to it on CD and digital for the last 15 years. So glad this is on vinyl. That's the highlights of my January vinyl haul. Got a bunch more coming in February. I'm actually recording this at the beginning of February, and I had some stuff arrive in the last day or so, and I picked some stuff up at the record store today. So I think February will be an interesting video. Anyway, thanks for indulging me and listen to me blab about records for a few minutes. Maybe you found something interesting in there that you might want to track down for yourself. I appreciate everyone's support. If you could, give me a like, a subscribe. Don't forget that bell notification. Thanks, everybody, and happy to be part of the vinyl community. Have a great one, and I'll see you on the flip side.